Welcome to Time with Bishop Melvin London. Stay tuned. We hope you will be blessed.
Hello, friends. We have come to the finality of the pillars of wisdom. And in today's edition of Word of Wisdom, I'll be taking you into the subject knowledge. Quickly, let's look at something in Proverbs chapter 18, the verse of 15. The writer of Proverbs, who is King Solomon, said, "The heart of the prudent gets knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge." The heart of the prudent gets knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. So you bear with me that King Solomon is admonishing us here to acquire knowledge. And I'm wondering why King Solomon will be using the word knowledge twice in just one piece of a scripture. It's all because when you look at the existence of the universe and the elements within, how it has been designed, there is no way one would doubt that it has been properly calculated through in-depth of knowledge to be placed and having all the elements put in its rightful perspective. The person who might have done that should be a very great designer and has very deep insight of knowledge. And that is why it goes contrary to the Big Bang theory, as in the world just exploded and everything came into existence. This is very contradictory and doubtful. You realize that without knowledge, nothing would exist as we perceive it to be. You are where you are by the knowledge you've obtained or acquired, whether through education, your environment, the experiences you've had in life, events and outcomes, imaginative or creative thinking. All is based on your level of knowledge. And that is why knowledge is so imperative and indispensable. You cannot do away with knowledge in anything you do and expect to succeed. Being in marriage, the place of work, your finances, raising up children, and any other thing you can think about, you need in-depth of knowledge to be able to succeed in those very areas. Knowledge is the constructional material of any foundation. You tell me a person who is doing great in his or her field of interest, and I'll tell you their knowledge in what they are doing is so great, also high. But a fool will always use his or her foolishness to destroy knowledge. Now, it's so rampant that these days, if you go on social media, especially on Facebook, you will see a whole lot of things going on. A couple of young guys, or even many of them, who will pull a camera in front of them, and all that they're doing, destroying, defaming, and bringing noble people down. But the outside of this is this: the knowledgeable people are also using the social media to invest in their knowledge, invest in their enterprise, the works of their hands, and increase their revenue. This is knowledge. Now, a lot of people get information and consume the information without digesting the information, and all that they do is carrying the information about. But this is not knowledge. This is ignorant. And this is where King Solomon said in Proverbs chapter number 10, the verse of 14, and he says, "Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the fool is near destruction." So foolish people will always destroy what the wise has built. It's very, very important for you to understand that you cannot operate in wisdom, the fear of God, discretion, counsel, and instruction without an in-depth of knowledge. This is why knowledge is so important. So in everything we do, we have to acquire knowledge. Knowledge is the key to opening doors that would otherwise be locked in front of our faces. We are living in a technological world where information is so rampant and easy to be acquired, and therefore one will be wondering if people still operate in ignorance. It becomes so pathetic, I'll say, that it's not late for you to turn around and seek knowledge, regardless of your age, your place of birth, the environment you live in. You can still make it and acquire knowledge. Where you are in life is as a result of your level of knowledge. You can never know beyond what you've acquired or obtained. The power of your thoughts, as in what you consistently and persistently think about, whether it's good or bad, empowering or disempowering, and what you've created around you, all are embedded in your level of knowledge. Your beliefs, values, rules, or principles are all based on your in-depth of knowledge. Every decision and choices we make in life was based on our knowledge. So whether you've taken a friend, or you've gone into marriage, or you've had a job to do, is based on the knowledge. If you get a job to do, they'll first of all ask you, have you done this before? That is knowledge. Do you have a knowledge of what you're about to do? The reason is that they will not spare you if you mess things up. So their first point of contact and reference is that, have you done this before? Wanting to inquire the knowledge you have in what you're about to do. And if you say no, in some cases, they will take their time to train, teach, and to lift you to be able to do what they demand of you. Whether it's someone who has told you about a thing and has made you make a decision or make a choice out of that, whether you were forced or you were voluntarily taught, everything is dependent on a particular knowledge. I'll always advise people around me who are endued with talents to go further and acquire a skill set to add to their talent. Because you see, this world we live in will never celebrate talents alone, but rather they will celebrate talent with a difference. Anybody at all can have talent, but very few have distinguished their talent with skill. And skill, my friend, is knowledge. What will make you stand out from the crowd and be different is your skill, coupled with your talent. Your skill is the knowledge, and nobody can take your knowledge away from you. It becomes your power by exercising it. If you want to be knowledgeable, work with knowledgeable people. If you want to be successful, work with successful people. Why? Because at every given time, they will impact you with knowledge, and sooner than later, you will become like them. I'm privileged to have a friend who is a philosopher and a theologian, Dr. Nielsen, who resides in Holland. He once said to me, if your knowledge does not intimidate me, you cannot be my friend. And he said, not just in academia, but in any area of my interest, because I must challenge myself to learn something new at each encounter I'll have with a friend or a person. And this brings me to Proverbs chapter 14, the verse 18. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. And that is why if you walk with the foolish, you will inherit foolishness. But if you associate With the prudent, you'll be crowned with knowledge. Dr. Ben Carson, one of the past presidential candidates in America, said, and I quote, "Knowledge is the key that unlocks all doors. You can be green-skinned with yellow polka dots and come from Mars. But if you have knowledge that the people need, instead of beating you, they will beat a path to your door." Wow. And therefore I know, and that is why I know, every successful person or company or organization in this world that we live in built their success upon a certain level of foundational knowledge. If success isn't built around knowledge, for instance, knowledge of customers, as in what the customer needs, which I believe a lot of companies and entrepreneurs lack this in certain parts of our world. Knowledge of process, as in the patience we need for a thing to mature, which a lot of people lack this patient. Knowledge of market, in which the company operate. Whatever you build, regardless of how many years it's existed, it will collapse. Listen, it's not too late to turn things around and acquire knowledge. The knowledge is in two parts: the human aspect of knowledge and the divine aspect of knowledge. As I bring my message to a close now, next week I will bring you the divine knowledge, because I just laid the foundation of knowledge to propel me into deeper mysteries of knowledge. Don't go anywhere. Same time next week, I'll come your way. This is your humble servant, Bishop Melvin Longdon. Shalom. Peace to you.
I believe you were blessed by this message. God bless you for listening. For more messages of Bishop Melvin London, please follow him on his social media handles and you will be blessed.